am back on my channel having a conversation with my YouTube family. It's been quite some time. So once again, wishing you all a very happy new year 2022. Let it bring all the happiness and health which you have been yearning for. Now, this is a very special occasion and we bring this segment on the National Youth Day. This is celebrated on 12th of January every year in our country to honor the birthday of Swami Vivekananda, the one and only, the great monk Swami Vivekananda, who was a spiritual thinker and a social reformer. Now, to celebrate this Youth Day, we have a very special person with us who believes that if we empower the youth, then our country is going to have a bright future. As the famous quotation of Swami Vivekananda goes, "Give me 100 empowered young men and I shall transform India." He always trusted that on the shoulders of the youth rests the future of our country. And in our country, 25% of the population are under the age of 25, and they have this huge responsibility. So before we begin this segment today, I have a super exciting announcement to make to all of you. We at Self Academy are going digital based on the huge request and demand from many of our participants who are living abroad. They were not able to match their timings to join the live courses which we conduct. So we are going digital and we have come up with recorded sessions where you can access all our courses online at your convenient time, and repeatedly you can watch it again and again. And we will be very soon launching our courses, and to get more updates and to avail the special discounts during this new year, and if you are the first timer coming as a participant to our Self Academy, you can avail some special discounts. So to get more updates on that, you can WhatsApp me on 70191 Yeah, 70191 Well, let's begin this segment with a very special guest, a very fond friend of mine, Mrs. Srividya Subramaniam. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. To give a very brief introduction about her, she's been in the education industry from 15 plus years, and she has rendered her services in prestigious institutions like Kelly Group of Institutions, RV Engineering College, and APS Engineering College, Jyoti Institute of Technology, and many more. Wherever she has gone, she has made a mark and uplifted the performance of students. And that is Srividya for you, a very dear friend of mine. And, I fondly call her as Vidya. I'm honored to have you today in our Self Academy session. A warm welcome to you, Vidya. And I'm looking forward, to share your opinion and points to lead and guide the younger generation of India as you deal with them almost every day. So bring on that power and bring on that energy. Over to you, Vidya.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this platform. Thank you so much, first of all. Happy New Year to all the viewers. I would like to start with a quote given by the Swami Vivekananda. "My hope of the future lies in the youths of character, intelligent, renouncing all for the service of others, and obedient, good to themselves and the country at large." How well he has told. See, the value of a country is assessed not by the riches or assets it possesses, but by its people. A nation may be wealthy, but what's more important than the actual wealth is the collective intellect and I can say the intelligence of people who contribute towards earning that wealth. To quote our dear Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, "A youth is one who works towards his future goals, unmindful of the past." So the youth of a nation, he determines how it shapes up a few years into the future. They are the future of our country, and their actions and inaction both, it contributes to the state of the nation. So in developing and promising the countries like India, the youth of the nation can contribute to its growth by exercising their franchise. So according to me, the youth of the country, they can use their education to battle these problems that plague the country. They can fight every social ill that keeps a nation down and prevents it from progressing at the speed it should. So using their education for the good of the country really matters a lot. So if we want to develop and become a better country, probably we should have youth a very good education where this education is used for the greater good of the nation. So India is leaping ahead of most other nations. We are very proud of this in terms of infrastructure, opportunities, but the mindsets also need to change at the same pace. So if the youth of a country are educated and willing to go the extra mile to affect the positive change, miracles can definitely happen.
Wow, extremely well said, Vidya. Well, on that note, today in this segment, I would like to highlight that we are going to specifically address certain problems and difficulties which today's youth, the next gen are facing, and we will give them some practical solutions towards it. It's not just enough once we discuss about the problems, but they also need to understand the alternatives, how to overcome these difficulties. And that's what we are going to do in this short period of time. And with your help, let us begin with, do you think, as you rightly put across, towards achieving their education or to, grow in life, what are the goals they need to set? And how essential is setting a goal in a student's life, especially? Can you just highlight on a few points?
Yes, yes. See, it is evident that youth will play a crucial role in the future development of the nation. So it becomes very important that the issues related to the youth are, they are mainstreamed and they should become the national priority. So for all these, they should have a goal setting. Big, okay. So according to me, this goals can give us a sense of direction. If we don't have an idea of where we are heading, it can feel as if we are not moving forward. So goals can motivate us. They can focus attention on activities or even behaviors we would like to change. So having goals can guide the choices and the decisions the student makes. However, sometimes goals can be demoralizing or demotivating. We can feel we are always chasing something without reacting. So what we are doing. So if we don't achieve a goal, it can lead to a sense of failure. So how we can ensure that goals are helpful, rather than just holding us back? First and foremost question is whose goal it is. Whose goal? See, when thinking about a goal, we should ask whether it is something you would genuinely like to achieve, or is it for someone else's idea for us, or even for the society's expectations. So probably when I ask children, what they say is getting a college degree is a goal that many young people have. But is it a goal of yours? Because you enjoy the subject, or because going to university is important? Like this. Sometimes it may be our parents or teachers' goal for us rather than our own. So if we set goals that don't fit with our own values or desires, it becomes very harder to achieve. So that is why I've come with the very simple and effective goal, which is, we call it as, is the goal SMART? You may have heard this term before. Definitely, everybody will be knowing what is SMART. The SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So when we start to shape these goals using these headings, it can, it becomes very easy for us to reach our goals. So first we have to consider what are our goals. Very simply, I will tell Ma. The first is about the specific. Are you clear about what you want to work towards? The clearer the goal is, the easier it is to take steps to get there. That is a very important thing. The student, very simple, any complications. Are you clear? Yes or no? After that,
Clarity.
you have to move on. Clarity, exactly.
Okay.
Next, if I talk about measurable, how will you know when you have achieved your goal? Sometimes young people come to me, Jigsaw, and say like, my goal is to be happier. While this might seem to make sense, but it is difficult to measure. So we should know how. How will you know that you have achieved your goal? Next is about achievable. Achievable is you should be aspirational by all means, but also you have to be realistic. If you set unrealistic goals, our motivation will drop. So thinking you can run a marathon in a month's time when you are really at couch to the 5K level is setting yourself up to fail. So that is why anything you make it, it has to be achievable. Next, very important is relevant. That is, whose goal is it anyway? If you don't see the relevance of something, it is much harder to get motivated. So we need goals that are meaningful to us and fit with our own interests and value. That will definitely, if it is relevant, it's very easy to achieve. And finally, it is time bound. Any job we do, any small tasks we do, target can help us towards our goal. So suppose we have 6 weeks to achieve something, it will spur you on, and definitely it will make us to focus on a particular goal. It's as simple as this. Any child can plan it in a simple way. It doesn't have to be complicated. Like, how is it measurable? How is it achievable? By adding their own values and interests, it will definitely be a successful, smart goal.
Excellent, excellent. You have given absolute clarity in how they have to set their goals, and it is very much essential for every student to set a goal, for every youth to set a goal if they want to achieve what they want to achieve. And don't you think today's youth, especially, we did not face this kind of problem? Unfortunately, today's youth are having too much of a distraction in setting a goal. Maybe they have these aspirations, maybe they really want to set a goal, they also know how to do it, and of course there is so much of content on social media, but they are getting distracted by the same social media. So talking about social media, of course there are a lot of positives to it, and everybody is making use of it. It's bringing all your old friends together. You're able to find your long forgotten, long lost friends, and you're connected on Facebook, on Insta, on Twitter, on all platforms. But looking at the cons of it, or on the negative effects of it, it's very alarming and it's very depressing. Today's youth are, so many people, they're facing this problem of sleeplessness, anxiety, and they cannot handle negative or sarcastic comments, and they lose their self-esteem. They don't value themselves. So many such mental disorders they are facing, if I may say so, because of this extreme addiction towards social media. So what I feel is, you cannot come beyond that. You cannot eject yourself out of this scenario, because in today's scenario, it is a part of your life. But how can you manage it? How can you be a part of it and still not get distracted or get consumed by social media, and still focus on your goals, is what I would like to address on. Some of the tips, with your permission, I would like to give to the youngsters, or if you want to add on these points, of course you can, is I feel today's young generation, they are much more happier once they get 100 likes for a photo which is put on FB, rather than your own family person, your own, your father, your mother, or your spouse appreciating you, that you have done a great work, or you're looking beautiful today. That doesn't matter much, but the 100 likes you get on social media gives you that virtual happiness. So we are all falling prey to this. And this behavior, which is very naturally coming to all the youngsters, is every 2 seconds they log into their social media and keep checking what's happening. There is this terminology called FOMO, fear of missing out. They don't want to miss out on what is happening. They want all the updates. So they have this behavior of going back to social media and keep checking every 2 seconds. So you're self-obsessed and you cannot be focused on anything else. You're getting constantly distracted, right? So because of all this behavior, your time is being consumed and you are becoming a victim. You are becoming a victim of social media. So to come out of all this, to come out of all these distractions, as I told, you just need to manage, because you are a part of it in this generation. Social media is a part of your life. You cannot come out of it. You cannot alter your life. We did not lead this kind of life, right, during our college days or school days.
Exactly.
Fortunately, our lives were better. We had this real environment where we had real conversations with our family members, real conversations with our friends. So try and create such experiences. That is the first point I would like to tell the younger generation of today's India. Try and spend more real time with your friends, real time with your family, and make it more exciting, so that the social media will attract you less. These real experiences are much more beneficial to you. They are very rich. And also this loss of sleep is again becoming a big issue, because you're looking at the bright screen all the time and you just can't go to sleep. So switch off yourself from all these distractions and try to have a more organized life. Yeah, especially while you're studying, while you're reading, come away from these distractions and designate a quiet place for yourself where you don't get constantly distracted by the notifications on your mobile, right? You can do such simple things and behave in a much more responsible way, just as you rightly suggested in the beginning. Yeah, be more responsible. And those responsible choices can be made only by you. The device cannot make a choice, or the government cannot make a choice, or somebody else cannot make a choice. Of course, talking about government, this too much of social media addiction is leading to certain governments, foreign countries, they are taking certain measures, looking at the addiction rate. That's what research and studies say. But yes, of course, in India we have bigger problems to deal with. Government cannot take decisions on all such problems. So you as a responsible person can make some conscious choices of not getting addicted. And even if you want to, you need to understand the difference between recreation and being focused. When you can make out the difference, like you can fix a time for recreation and you can watch, or you can be on social media watching videos. Again, talking about the content of the videos which are put out on social media is horrifying, because content creators are really not that responsible. Keeping in mind, the consumers who are consuming the content. But let's not go there. But your responsibility is to make a conscious choice. So please do that. Be more organized and come out of this anxiety levels, these stress levels, and this fear of missing out stuff and depression and all this. It's in your hands. And you all know how you can come out of it. One simple thing is start meditating every day in the morning to enhance the power of your mind. That is one simple tip which everybody needs to follow. Meditation is not just for elderly people, or not just for monks or saints or people like that. It is for every person. Today the entire world is looking up to India for yoga. We ourselves have lost, we have lost touch with it, or we have forgotten the values and the benefits we can reap out of it. So as a student, your prime most duty, I must say, is to meditate every day in the morning, at least for 5 to 10 minutes, and strengthen your mind, so that the entire day goes as per your plan and you're much more organized and you're able to focus on what you want. Because distraction is a part of your brain. Human brain is designed in such a way that you get distracted 4 times every second. That's what research says. So it's okay to get distracted. For example, if you want to cross a road and you want to pay all attention on crossing on the road, what will happen? Ideally, any car may come and hit you, right? So it's okay to get distracted. You have to get distracted and look into, the vehicles passing by, and also concentrate on the road at the same time. So that is how the human brain is designed, and that's perfectly fine to get distracted, but get distracted in an organized way. Okay, if you are looking for something, you want to enhance your knowledge in a particular way, and you want to watch videos related to it, you want to read some stuff related to it, acquire some information related to it, yes, you can get a little distracted, but do it in an organized way and be focused. And social media is like, you cannot get away from it. There is no solution to it, just that you should know how to manage it. Please do that and follow some of the tips which we have shared with you. If there is something else you want to add on distraction, or how they can have more focus on their goals, you can please add, Vidya.
Yes, ma'am. Usually in students' life, they have two problems, two solid problems they have. One is, as you said, it is distraction. And second one is study.
Okay.
So whenever I go for any training sessions, if they ask them, these two answers are perfect. Okay. Hitting the nail on the head. They are so sure, yes, these are the 2 points.
Okay.
So I will give you a very, very simple tip that, distractions happen and you can follow whatever you have told. That is really nice. And we'll have so many other tips also. What I say is, when it's a very simple tip, okay, when you really don't want to get distracted, you should have a purpose in life. I call it as a burning desire. You should have a burning, I should do something. I should achieve this. How myself I should not get distracted by it. When we have that burning desire from within, nothing can distract us. So to possess this burning desire, one needs to focus on their feelings, thoughts, I can say vibrations, actions, reactions, and results. So this process, it helps the student to comprehend the goals and how to achieve them. However, a positive mental attitude is one of the prerequisite for attaining a burning desire to achieve their goal.
Yes.
It's not easy to achieve a goal without persistence, without positive attitude, and the right action and reaction. So when I say this burning desire, it automatically develops the motivation in life to engage in the right directions, right actions to attain their goal. So if the student is able to understand the motive behind the emotions and the resultant action and reaction, can seamlessly achieve what they really want to desire by controlling their thoughts, controlling their emotions. The only thing, it should be calling from inside. It should echo from inside. No, I should do this. When that desire comes, nothing can distract the student. So we should be prepared in such a way that this burning desire should always be burning.
Well said, well said. Yes, with that burning desire, I want all the younger generation to have these takeaway messages very strong. Have focused goals, define it in a smart way, and have this burning desire towards achieving that goal, which will create a purpose in your life. And of course, social media is a part of your life, but instead of leading that two lives, personal life and social media life, try and not get distracted too much by following the tips which we said, by making conscious choices and being a responsible viewer. Whatever you are viewing, be responsible. Fix some time and do not get distracted too much, and be focused on your goals. On that note, let's end today's segment. Once again, a very happy National Youth Day to each one of you. Be empowered and bring out the power which is within you, because every person, every human being is empowered. Any last words from your side, Vidya?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to tell, life is never perfect. It always has ups and downs. It is during the difficult times that a word of encouragement and gestures of kindness are most helpful. So just we can take time to sprinkle the kindness and bring hope to the lives of others. We never know how far it will.
Excellent. Well said. So please, excellent. Well said. Please note down these points, and once you follow it, my dear viewers, reward yourself, because you are an achiever. You've achieved something. So start rewarding yourself with appreciating words. Thank you so much for watching this. We'll come back to you with many such interesting segments. And heartfelt thanks to Sri Vidya ma'am for joining us on Self Academy session. And thanks to all the viewers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.